Look, listen to that. Look, what is going on in there? I really hope this is just a dead battery.
We're Levi and Leah, a Canadian couple living out of our Toyota Prius to complete a road trip of a lifetime.
We left our apartment in the city to spend the next year circumnavigating North America.
Last week, we started making our way through some of the most dangerous parts of Mexico.
And this week, we figure out what's going wrong with our Prius camper, and we try to fix it.
So my parents just left, and we went to start the car to leave, and it won't start for some reason. So we're trying to figure out what the hell just happened.
Yeah, it is. The lights didn't even.
Yeah, but we got like we're getting like other signals now. This thing is. So what I'm worried about is in here you can actually hear something. Like, listen to that. Like, what is going on in there? The location of the battery in this car is such a pain in the ass.
Largo, largo.
Largo? Muy largo. So we're having to connect two jumper cables together to actually reach into the back of the car, which is super frickin' annoying. I don't know what was going on here, but looks like it's done now. Hey,
Go get this.
yeah, thank you.
Go, friends.
Yeah, gracias.
I hope to see you again.
Con gusto.
Yes.
Hey, gracias por tu expertise.
And change your private.
Yes.
Mucho gusto.
Good morning, team. As you may have seen from our last video, we traveled through some of the sketchier parts of Mexico for the first time, and we landed in Aguascalientes and liked it so much we stayed for like 3 or 4 days. But we have a bit of a problem because the last time we stayed that many days in a place, our car wouldn't start.
Fingers are crossed. You can do it.
So the reason that the car won't start is that we sleep with the hatch open, because obviously that's where our hatchback tent goes on, but the light is on saying that we have a door open, and that's just on all the time.
So up until this point on the trip, it hasn't been a problem. We've slept with the hatch open many a night and the battery hasn't died. But here in Mexico, we've been staying places for days at a time and kind of slowing down our trip, which has been really, really nice. But it does mean that with all the doors being opened and closed and the hatch being open all the time, the battery is just dying more often.
So our hatchback tent looks a little weird right now because clearly the hatch is closed. Our attempt to try and save some of the battery, but ever since we switched with your parents, it fits a lot better going up and down.
So as you may have seen in a number of videos, we've talked about this tent at length, but we did not realize that the one that we bought was actually the smaller version. So when my parents left and went back up to Canada, we switched with them because unknowingly, they bought the bigger version of this tent, which is actually made for SUVs, and it fits our whole rig way, way better.
Yeah, like the awning is bigger, the screen is bigger. I was really glad that they switched with us.
And the timing couldn't have been better because now with this extra space, all we need to do to secure our car and also save batteries so our battery doesn't die is reach in here and kind of finesse the hatch closed from inside the tent. Like that. The one downside of switching tents with my parents is that we're back to these old fiberglass poles, which are really heavy and quite large. If you saw back in an earlier video, I somehow managed to create the same length pole from a bunch of scrap material that we found at an outdoor store in Bend, Oregon, and it works so much better. But you know what, I guess it was us giving back to them. If they're gonna give us a bigger tent, we'll give them one that works a little better.
Okay, so let's hope that she starts this time.
Oh,
Okay.
this time she started. Okay.
So it worked.
I just don't want to like stop somewhere randomly and like in the middle of nowhere it doesn't work.
No,
like that would not be good.
That's the whole fear.
Hey.
So in the last 2 instances where we had to jump the car, we had people nearby and they had jumper cables. But we don't have jumper cables. It was actually something we meant to pack when we were leaving, but in the craziness of getting ready to leave, we just kind of forgot. So we need to go and pick some up just in the event that this happens again. We were also very frustrated because on these hybrid engines, they don't have the 12-volt battery in the actual engine bay, but in the back of the car, which meant that we had to awkwardly route the cables through the car to do it and everything. But somebody in our comment section illuminated us to something very helpful. Apparently, in this box, in here you'll see a positive terminal there, and if you just remove this little piece of plastic, you actually have the positive terminal, and then they have a ground right here, so you can jump from your car, so we will know that for next time. Thank you to everybody who commented that bit of advice. I mean, I don't know what we'd be doing on this trip if it weren't for all of your comments, so thanks to everybody who leaves feedback.
So as you can tell from our setup and takedown, the doors are open a lot of the time, and we're not even halfway through our trip. So we're gonna go take our car in to get the battery checked just to make sure that it's healthy, because it needs to last us a heck of a lot longer.
¿Puedes probar la batería de mi carro?
Por favor.
¿Puedes probar la batería de mi carro? Por favor.
On?
Well, first thing we see when we walk in is jumper cables. So,
That's pretty handy.
here we go.
¿Puedes probar mi batería de mi carro?
Batería?
Sí.
My Spanish.
You practiced that
We
phrase.
practiced the phrase, it might have worked.
I think you did it.
Another thing that we were thinking about getting for this trip was like a little portable battery jumper, and it's just basically a battery bank with 2 jumper cables attached to it. They're really expensive though, so I wasn't really sure if it was going to be necessary, but might have been something good to have.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we can't jump it from our battery bank though. That like
There must be a
seems
way
bit
to
weird.
do that.
Yeah. What say here?
Yes.
Reemplazar batería. Oh wow, replace battery.
Okay.
It's not good.
Not good. Not good.
Okay.
This is fine. Okay.
Okay. So turns out our battery is definitely dead.
It's not totally dead, it just definitely needs to be replaced.
Which is actually kind of good because then it's not just that keeping the doors open all night drains the battery really, really quickly, but it's mostly just a dead battery.
Yeah. It's in there trying to remove our other battery.
So apparently that battery wasn't quite the right size, so they're gonna go find the right one. But in the meantime, we're gonna take out all of this. Maybe it'll be easier to access it and put away our new jumper cables.
Third battery that we're trying out. Fingers crossed. Are they the same size? It looks different. There we go, okay.
Perfecto.
Okay.
Wow, gracias.
Rig. That was easy.
So after an unexpected $150 expense there, but we have a new battery, we have jumper cables, and I think that makes us feel a lot more secure knowing that we have like 7 more months of traveling and the back of the car is gonna be open a lot.
So now we're heading out to our next campground where we are going to be staying for more than a couple of nights. So it's good that we did this now. But before we do that, we got to stock up on a few things. So we've found somewhere to buy fruits and vegetables, and this place is literally just surrounded in these like industrial food places, which looks really interesting. Wow, dude. The music is on point.
I know.
Well, that place was so legit, including the tunes that they chose to play.
One of the guys who worked there, him and I were singing Barbie Girl together. This entire bag of produce, and it was 100 pesos.
Oh my
100,
God.
that's $5 American, and it's stacked.
Oh, look at this place. If we were into eating meat and cooking meat, we would be getting it from here. Look at this. Holy. That's amazing. Oh my God, dude. That's insane. This is not something you're gonna see on Granville Island in Vancouver.
No.
Okay, so we've just pulled up at the campground we're going to spend a couple nights at, and we're going to test an interesting theory that we found on Reddit for our battery problem.
So as you can see, we're kind of in one of these giant field RV parks. It's not our normal preference.
No, but one of the things we do like about this place is that they have hot showers. When you get hot showers, wow, it's amazing. There's also a hot pool and a cold pool, and we're overlooking the lake.
So we're gonna spend a couple of nights here, but we're gonna see if the carabiner trick works on the Prius. So the basic idea is that this little latch here where the trunk hatch locks into is the thing that trips the sensor that tells you that the trunk is open, which keeps the lights on and whatnot, and keeps the electrical going throughout the car. So if we stick a carabiner in here, the idea is that all the lights will turn off and we won't drain our batteries. So we're gonna see if that works.
So we have our interior light turned off, so that's not a problem. The only way that we really know if the lights are on is by that little door ajar light right there. So we'll see if that turns off. So this is what we're replicating down here with the carabiner. So you gotta just push it through the locking mechanism.
Oh.
Okay. So there it is. As you can see, it's in there and, oh.
Oh no, the door's open. Wait, close the inside door.
Okay.
Wait.
Did it?
No, it's still on.
What? It's still on?
It's still on. Still says the door is open. Well, are all of the doors fully closed other than this?
Oh my God. So it does say that the door is still ajar, even though we have the thing in there.
Huh.
Okay, well, I guess Reddit isn't a cure for everything.
No, but then how do we get this out now?
Okay, so I'm gonna press this button and you're gonna pull it out.
Okay. Oh.
There we go.
Well, that was easy.
Wow, so this is the pool area where we're staying.
Huge.
It's very large.
Wow. I think it's cold too.
This is not really what we're kind of used to.
Having pools, no, like that's not our normal.
I know it may seem that way because in the last couple of videos we've stayed at places that have pools, but this is a very new thing for us. It is nice though to have somewhere to dip when you live in your car.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah. No, that's cold. That's cold. We may be in Mexico, but it is still rather chilly in the evenings. So a cold pool isn't really the vibe, so we're gonna go to the hot pool instead.
Thankfully, that's an option, because now we're so bougie, we stay at places with not one pool, but 2 pools. To be fair, the last place had 8. So.
If you haven't seen that vlog, we'll link it down below.
Oh, okay.
That's nice. In the grand scheme of things, a dying battery in a camping rig setup is not that big of a deal because we're just gonna have to work around it.
I think we just have to be aware, especially when we leave the car for long periods of time, to just close the hatch.
Yep.
And if we're camping somewhere for multiple days, start it up every day just to make sure it works.
Yeah. So I've finished this video about our battery issue, but here we are weeks after we've already solved the problem and our battery is dead again. We've only been here for 2 days. We really weren't trying the battery that hard, but I guess this is just gonna be a reoccurring problem.
We closed the hatch, so now I have to crawl through here to get the jumper cables.
So our German friend here from down the way found us and provided us with a battery, which is exactly what we were talking about getting. So the positive terminal goes onto this thing right here. So a short story short, that didn't work.
We're gonna wait for them to finish off their breakfast and then they're gonna leave and jump us with their truck. This is just so frustrating because this is the way that we have to live while we're on the road. The doors and the windows and the hatch are gonna be open all the time. So I guess this battery problem is not something that we are away from at this point. If you have any suggestions on how we can solve this problem, let us know.
Here comes our saviors.
Okay, go for it, Leah.
Well, good thing the windshield wipers were on. Okay, there we go. Well, looks like that tip finally worked out. Holy.
Wow. Thank you guys. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. Good luck with your surfing today. Thank you. It will be more fun than this.
Yeah.
Honestly, just look at how beautiful this whole area is. Also have a number of neighbors, as you might be able to see.
Yeah, little chicks too. Okay, I got you a new t-shirt. I think you should try and change. And then we can get a blanket for you.
Okay. So as you may have seen from the clip, apparently I ate something or drank something that was destined to try and kill me.